Scroll through any social media feed today, and you will eventually hit a massive wall of generated noise. Fake engagement bait targeting unsuspecting users, bizarrely proportioned subjects populating streaming thumbnails, and garbled ebooks flooding online marketplaces. The barrier to execution has dropped to zero. For those trying to monetize the attention economy, generative artificial intelligence offers a way to prioritize speed and volume over substance. But the modern objection goes deeper than market spam. Because a machine is synthesizing statistical patterns rather than a human rendering an image, critics argue the resulting work is hollow. In this environment of automated volume, the human element of image making can feel entirely invisible. In 1888, George Eastman released the Kodak camera to the public. It looked like a simple toy box, and its marketing pitch was straightforward. You press the button, we do the rest. The cultural fallout was immediate. Untrained amateurs began flooding the world with millions of snapshots capturing mundane daily life. The 19th century art establishment reacted with immediate skepticism. Critical journals of the era, like The Crayon, dismissed the photograph as a mere mechanism, devoid of feeling. They argued an image captured in a fraction of a second by chemistry alone possessed none of the genius or invention required of true art. It raises a question we are still grappling with today. When a machine enters a creative process, does the human craft actually disappear? For centuries, the definition of art relied on embodied expertise. Artistic value was tied to the physical, manual struggle of rendering an image stroke by stroke with a brush or a chisel. Photography replaced that physical struggle with a chemical mechanism. Wash liquid over a blank sheet, and an exact replica of reality appears. Critics equating physical labor with artistic value were often blind to the creative decisions outside the physical execution. The human craft did not vanish with the invention of the camera. It simply relocated to areas that critics weren't looking at yet. Early landscape photographers like John Moran recognized this shift. In 1865, he noted that while anyone could make a faultless photograph, very few make pictures. This diagram shows how cognitive labor replaced the brushstroke. On the left, the traditional physical execution of painting. On the right, the camera shifts the burden to curation. The artist selects the lighting, frames the subject, and chooses the exact timing of the exposure. These conceptual decisions are what elevate a mechanical recording into a deliberate artistic statement. True craft is defined by human intention and curation, regardless of whether a hand or a machine produces the final artifact. But the stigma of the mechanical snapshot was heavy, triggering a movement known as pictorialism. To separate their work from point-and-shoot amateurs, these photographers intentionally applied soft focus, washed their prints in sepia, and physically manipulated the surface with brushes and scratches. They were providing visible, physical proof of human intervention. They felt forced to emulate traditional painting to be taken seriously as artists. Pictorialism functioned as an insecure stepping stone, a new medium desperate to prove it was something more than a mindless machine. That insecurity faded through the efforts of Alfred Stieglitz, who argued that photography did not need to fake being a painting to be valid. He advocated for straight photography, a style that embraced the sharp, unmanipulated reality of the camera rather than trying to hide it. In 1910, the Albright Art Gallery in Buffalo officially acquired photographs for its permanent collection, signaling a shift in how major institutions viewed the medium. Photography finally achieved artistic status as a legitimate tool for human vision, distinct from the manual struggle of the brush. Today, we see similar anxieties. The camera captures physical light, while generative AI produces images through statistical pattern synthesis. Because AI lowers the barrier to execution, it guarantees an immense volume of low-effort commercial slop. Art curator Francesco Di Isa contextualizes this by noting that the historical canon of any medium is merely the surviving tip of an immense iceberg of forgotten derivative creations. The most derivative examples of a new medium do not define its ultimate artistic ceiling. The camera taught us that a machine does not kill creativity, it merely automates the execution. Human intention, curation, and conceptual vision remain the core of the work, and photography's victory in the gallery was only the beginning of a recurring technological panic. Just as photographers earned their place, another machine began rolling that would cause the theater world to completely lose its mind.